Welcome back. A little Irish whiskey and Bailey's never hurt anyone, but today this Irish coffee is getting a flavor boost. Mixologist Kenny Cohrs is here to show us how to take things to the next level with this Irish coffee, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We were talking earlier that Bailey's and coffee is something that folks really enjoy drinking, but it's not a traditional Irish coffee. We're going to go forward with that, the basic recipe, and then kind of maybe flare it up a little bit for St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, and you started things with some hot coffee this morning.
Some hot coffee right here, fresh, great hot coffee there. We use a little bit of thou mayest in there. I'm using just a bar spoon of a simple syrup that we've created at home. Certainly can be done at home for any of those as well. And then a traditional Irish whiskey that goes with Irish whiskey from Jameson, one of those household names that lots of folks know.
Jameson, I was going to say, he's pouring out the good stuff this morning,
Absolutely.
okay?
Well, yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day. We have to go with the good stuff.
This looks amazing, right? It almost looks like what we'd use for a piping bag, something like that if we were decorating cookies, but what's inside?
Yeah, what we've done is we've just created a green whip. We're using a little creme de menthe, and we've talked about that a lot on the show today. I did use a little bit of Five Farms Irish cream, and then just some fresh whipped cream. Whip that up in the blender, and away we go.
Okay, so, and would this be considered a traditional Irish coffee?
With the exception of the change of the color on top of that, actually the function aspect of the cream over the top of that really is about keeping the heat of the coffee in there as you're enjoying that coffee, so it doesn't get cold as you enjoy that there. So.
Okay, well the Irish coffee looks great, but that's not the only cocktail that you've prepared today.
Absolutely, yeah. The cocktail that we're doing second is much more of a traditional style cocktail. Those classic cocktails are kind of making a big comeback.
Great.
The Bijou is one of those. We're doing a takeoff of that, an Irish takeoff of that, using 3 separate ingredients here, and of course an Irish whiskey from our friends up at Restless Spirits import the Sons of Erin Irish whiskey for us. So we're going to.
And when you say that they're importing, that's because if it's an Irish whiskey, it has to be sourced from Ireland.
This girl right here, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly right.
I'm following you now.
The whiskey is kind of a bigger category. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. Real quick, an ounce of each of these. Dolan Sweet Vermouth, an ounce of green chartreuse, more because of the fun color that goes along with St. Patrick's Day.
And green chartreuse, right? There's an interesting story behind this because it's guarded by monks.
It is indeed.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Hundreds of years old recipe. Rumor has it that those that know the recipe can never be on the same flight together, just in case something were to happen with that flight. And therefore, the recipe would go
Well, I'm glad that they're putting some precautions.
Exactly right,
Yeah.
It's not as much the social distancing or the quarantine, but just to keep that recipe safe.
Right,
Sons of Erin there. 1 scoop of ice in here.
And this is called a Tipperary, right? It's
Tipperary.
3 syllables long, if I was reading correctly.
Tipperary, yes. Give it a great stir here. Excuse my reach, we'll grab a tool. And just a quick pour in there. A beautiful orange hue to match the green, to finish our cocktail celebration for the St. Patrick's Day.
Well, Kenny, I was going to say this looks beautiful and, of course, just finishes something off with the Irish Tipperary.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, do you think that I can try this one over here? Because Irish coffee, I mean, there's nothing to me that says St. Patrick's Day like that. Okay, we're going to go in with the green. And that is so good. It's delightful, extra minty there. Thank you so much, Kenny, for sharing these drinks with us today. And of course, that way you can make some drinks at home maybe if you want to.
I tried to keep those simple, not too many ingredients, not too many techniques or skills. Just pour them in a glass and enjoy.
They're green for St. Patrick's Day. We're here for that.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Phil?